Hello and welcome to Betfred on day 2 of the Grand National Festival. It was a day to savour for Paul Nicholls with a double at Aintree and a 4-timer at Taunton. And today in the feature race, Politolog, second in 2019. Can he go one better like he did in 2018 and win the feature race, the Melon Chase?
Just a couple of lengths clear, and it's Goss over Tom Dodds and Paddy Brennan to win the Melon Chase.
Fox Northlow careering away. Grade 1 success in the Melon.
A titanic tussle to the line. Politolog and Min at the finish. Politolog.
And it's Min by a minute to win the JLT Chase.
Cracking day yesterday, 7 races today. Fred's alongside me. His pushes will be coming up very, very shortly. But a treble for your mate, Sir Alex Ferguson, in Liverpool yesterday.
Yeah, and a good win in Granada, wasn't it, as well? But yeah, good luck to him. They put plenty of money into it, and with Jed Mason's a great supporter of the game. And my brother has a few horses with them.
You mentioned your brother.
Yeah.
Your brother's got one with Fergie tomorrow in the Grand National. Give me a copper.
Right. Well, I didn't know. But, you know, while we're talking about the Grand National, what price is Cloth Cap now?
Cloth Cap is 9 to 2 across the board everywhere. Push it tomorrow morning when you're on at 9:30.
Well, I'll tell you, I've got a little secret. I've been keeping this away from you because I knew you'd say...
Push it 9:30 tomorrow morning when you're on.
Whose dough is it? Whose dough is it? Right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Somebody said to me yesterday, congratulations when you did that to COVID. Right, that's full to you, finger. COVID. Wrong thing, there's COVID finger. COVID off. What we're going to do, win only. This is a special offer. Win only. Cloth Cap is about a 9 to 2 chance.
It is a 9 to 2
9 to 2 right across the board. I'm pushing it from 9 to 2 to 11 to 2. But remember, it is win only. That's why you're getting that great value.
Win only, up to 100 quid. 11 to 2 for Cloth Cap. Now, if you do want an each way bet in the Grand National, today only, we're 8 places each way. 8 places each way. I can see the corner of my eye. Matt is on the phone, so I presume he's backing Cloth Cap at 11 to 2. How do we bet for the feature, the Melon Chase, Matt?
Hang on, just
quickly put your phone away.
I just get on the
Are we ordering your tea?
11 to 2. I know it's short in terms of the Grand National, but he's absolutely chucked in and he's going to take the world to beat him. Let's focus on today's feature, shall we? As we mentioned, the Melon Chase. If any horse deserves to win a big prize, it is this fella, Fakir Duderee. He's got second-itis, but he always runs his heart out. The only disappointment came over 3 miles. 5 to 2 favourite for Joseph O'Brien and Mark Walsh. Former champion chaser Politolog is at 11 to 4. Can be another good day for Paul Nicholls and John and Lisa Hales. Notebook has been well backed in this. 11 to 2 stepped up in trip. And the 1-2 from the Ascot Chase in February, 7 to 1 and 8 to 1, Dashel Drasher and Master Tommy Tucker. That was a war of attrition though. But 5 to 2 Fakir Duderee, 11 to 4 Politolog. Can't wait for this one, Mark, at 3.25.
Come on then. You've seen the batting. Give us a push on the Melon.
Well, today, you know what we did yesterday? We pushed Fergie's horse, Clanders Oboe. We pushed it from 5 to 2 to 4 to 1. It was returned 5 to 2. Great value. And I'm going to give you some more value. And I'm going to start with this race here. Politolog, what price is it again? 11
to 4.
I'll tell you what we do. Let's go 7 to 2. It's 7 to 2. Tell me, Matt, is anybody bigger than 7 to 2?
Do I need to tell you? You know the answer, don't you? You know the answer. Nowhere near. You're already biggest at 11 to 4, Fred. Joint biggest at 11 to 4. 7 to 2 is
Fred,
by far the
just
best.
keep the other pushes up your sleeve for now. So let's just see a Politolog. This is, I said last year, it's not. This is 2019. Finishes second to Min here. But Politolog won this race in 2018. was due to run at Cheltenham, got pulled out at the last minute, found a little bit of blood in the nose, but Paul Nicholls has said that there is nothing to worry about. Politilogue, now a top price 7-2, won it in 2018, perfect ground for Politilogue. Matt, 7-2 is a very, very fair price now.
More than fair. Mark, and don't forget, a few months off, 11 months after this, he became the champion chaser at Cheltenham. So look, he's got the form in the book. He's an admirable servant. He's a dashing grey as well. Paul Nicholls had a double yesterday, so the yard is in good form. And yeah, he's going to take some beating, Politilogue, this afternoon. But this is the danger. This is Fakir D'Idriss. Even the JP McManus sulks in fourth here. He goes into second. Look, he's got no chance with Allaho, who was just an absolute brute on the day. Just galloped and galloped. But Fakir D'Idriss was best of the rest. He was entered at the weekend, pulled out. Maybe they think connections. This is a better opportunity for him. It's a bigger prize as well.
And Allaho's not here, of course.
And Allaho isn't here, of course, as you mentioned. The trip's fine. We know what Tom Lee this morning said about he needs heavy ground. No, he doesn't. He's been second here at Aintree before in a hurdle on good to soft ground. Conditions will be fine for him. He's the 5-2 favourite, but that, for the last year's champion chaser and a former winner of this race, for the red hot Paul Nicholls stable, is definitely value.
7-2 for Politilogue. That is huge. 7-2 for Politilogue. Let's just confirm it. Here we are. Cloth cap as well. 11-2. 11-2. Look at that, Fred, as well.
Please
Stressing the win only.
Please just keep emphasising it's win only. That's the only reason I can do that. A full point more than anybody else in the market. I'm giving you 11-2, something that's 9-2, but you've got to remember it's in the win-only market.
So there we are, cloth cap at 11-2. Right, Fred, I believe you've got some more pushes.
Yeah, I'm going back to the 220 there. Dusart, what price with Dusart?
I'm just checking now, Fred. Everyone's 2-1. We're 2-1. It's 2-1, although one firm has just stuck its head above the parapet and gone 9-4. But yeah, everyone 2-1. 9-4 is the best on offer.
5-2 you can go, Matt. Go 5-2 it.
That will be bold type on odds checker, Fred. That is for sure. A few firms are still 15-8. So 5-2 smashes them out of the park. One run, one win, and Nicky Henderson usually dominates the Fridays, and you're taking him on again, Fred.
OK, move on to the 440 there. Brave Man's Game. What price are we? Brave Man's Game.
Yeah, had a hard race at Cheltenham, but the last three winners of this race all ran at the festival. So that's a tick in his box everywhere across the board again, Fred. 2-1. 2-1 is best price. You are already joint best at 2-1.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be massively in front of everybody here. Let's go 11-4 it. 11-4, Dusart.
That's big. Brave Man's Game. Even 11-4. Can I get on the phone to my broker again, Mark?
Certainly can. So there we are. Braves Man Game at 11-4.
And I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting when we do comparisons with all the other bookmakers, isn't it? We've got to be knocking them out of the ring, haven't we, here? Move on to the 5.15 there. Coppolus. What price with Coppolus?
You were listening this morning, weren't you, when I made this my nap of the day? So is what you think of me, Fred. 9-2 across the board. Are you taking this one on?
I'm going to go 9-2. I'm going to go 6-1. Now I know you're on it. We're carrying your weight. I don't think it's I don't think it's without a chance, but let's go 9-2 to 6-1 there. It is Coppolus.
It's got a massive chance. That's a great boost. Cloth Cap is a great boost. Brave Man's Game is a great boost. Politilogue and Dusart are definitely value. That tops the lot. He's got a massive chance in the last. 6-1, Coppolus is huge, and I think he'll send punters home happy from Aintree this afternoon.
There we are, Cloth Cap, top price 11-2, win only. Some sad breaking news, by the way. Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, has died, aged 99. Buckingham Palace have just announced. So some sad news. So obviously, if you want the latest on that, please go to a news channel for the very latest on that. So some sad news. Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, has died at the age of 99.
Well, that's a shock. I mean, I've not seen anything. Have you seen anything before this? I knew he was in hospital. He had a heart
obviously
problem.
come out of hospital, hadn't he? So you presumed he was on the road to recovery.
Well, yeah, it's one you were never expecting to. I mean, he's what was he? 99? Did you say?
99, yeah.
I mean, he's had a good innings, but it is a shock. You've surprised me there.
Yeah. So some sad news. Prince Philip, age 99, a Duke of Edinburgh, has died. Windsor Castle have just announced if you want the latest on that, please tune in to a news channel. So some very, very sad news. The Grand National will take place tomorrow at 5:15.
Get ahead of the Fizz Grand National. Place your bets early on Thursday or Friday and Betfred will pay out on 8 places. So all you'll need is a top 8 finish to get paid out on your each way stake. The only thing you'll have to think about is how to pick your horses. Whether you look for the silks, numbers or names, get your head in front this Thursday or Friday by placing your Grand National bets early with Betfred. Download the app or visit betfred.com.
Yeah, so 8 places each way in the Grand National, but only today. There'll be 6 places each way tomorrow, which is still the best you're going to get, but 8 places today. 8 places today. And as well, if you have your bet today, you could go in the draw to win that brand new SUV and a share of 25 grand. It's day 2 of the Grand National Festival. Let's join our man at Aintree, Rupert Bell.
Well, welcome to day 2 of the Grand National Festival. What a view from the top of the grandstand, looking out over this famous race course with the Grand National fences, of course, way in the distance. We've had a bit of overnight rain, but it's no more than a little, I should stress, and so the going remains good to soft currently. We had some great racing yesterday. Today, well, some real highlights, and Chantry House trying to back up his Cheltenham win. Then we've got a race over the Grand National course with the Topham Chase. That looks a very competitive race. Obviously got family interest in 2 for Gold, but I think the horse I'm really looking forward to seeing is Espoir de Romay. Kim Bailey's horse looks to be an improving horse, and I think could be one of the value bets of the day.
Thanks so much, excuse me, to Rupert. So we have 4 places each way on the Sefton Novices Hurdle. And how do we bet on that? And Fred has obviously done a boost. So just tell our customers watching this right now, Matt, where they'll get that boost on Brave Man's Game.
Yeah, well, he's in here. I say he's 2-1 favourite in the race book, but if I take a slide to my left, daily price boost here with the orange and yellow chevrons, that's where you need to go. Click on that button and all those price boosts will be available, including cloth cap for tomorrow and the 4 today. So click on that button. That is where you'll find the price boosts. In the race book, though, if you're having a multi, 2-1 at Brave Man's Game. It's 9-2. Cape Gentleman, who's a very promising horse indeed. Not sure if the trip will suit, but we'll find out. Galley Hill, this has been the gamble of the race, if not the gamble of the day. 9-2 for Nick Henderson, who's won 3 of the last 6 running. In fact, he's running for a hat-trick after Champ and Santini in this. He's also got Bothwell Bridge in here. Streets of Doyen ran well at Cheltenham. He's at 9-1. A much bigger price, though. We've got Doyen Breed as well. The man, Ryan Manny, Grand National winning jockey, has been joining us all week. He gets the ride on Doyen Breed, so let's see what he had to say about the outsider in the Sefton Novices Hurdle at 4:40.
On ratings, he's way behind some of them, but the horse that I know, I think he's a horse with a lot of ability. He kind of threw it away a little bit at Kelso the last day. He'd been in front a long time and he waited for somebody to join him. And then when we were joined after the last, he pulled out a bit more, but then he waited again. And just on the line, Agra Park got up and done me ahead on the line. But just after the line, I was ahead again. So, we should have probably won the last time out, which would have given him more of a hike in the weights. As I say, I think a horse of a lot of ability. And I think he'll be seen to greater effect in better company. But Luke Chasen's going to be his game next year, so we look forward to doing that. And if we can run a nice solid race, then I'll be absolutely delighted. But for me, the winner of that race, and quite rightly so, is Brave Man's Game. I think he maybe not so great last time out, but before that he was so impressive. I thought he was a real nice young horse to look forward to, and I think he's definitely the one to beat.
Brave Man's Game. This is Cheltenham, Matt, and Paul Nicholls before Cheltenham spoke about this horse about it being his best chance, but obviously he hit a very good one. He
did, 2 good ones, 2 Irish ones as well. They dominate, but he's best of the rest. And he said he's been liking him to Denman, but it's not a negative. We mentioned yesterday about horses who struggle at, who run at Cheltenham and struggle at Aintree. This race is a bit of an anomaly because the last 3 horses to win today all ran at the Cheltenham Festival. Only one of them won as well. The World's End and Champ both came into here after being beaten at Cheltenham, so it's no negative. And if he's as good as Paul Nicholls thinks he is, and the form of his horses compared to what they were like at Cheltenham, obviously they're on absolute fire at present, he's got a huge chance. I think he wins this afternoon, and I think 11-4 is very big. I can't see him being anywhere near that price come 4.39.
Top price as well, Fred. And we're going to do some pushes tomorrow, aren't we, at Aintree?
Dead right we are. It's going to be a fabulous day tomorrow. I mean, we missed the crowds, we miss a lot of the atmosphere, what was going on there, we missed the betting shops, but we'll do our best to make it entertaining and value for money for you.
Betting shops are open in England and Wales on Monday. Look at that, 11-2 win only for Cloth Cap. Matt, have you got any questions for Fred?
I have, yeah. To go on that theme, actually, talking about the shops, Mike Dawson says, even though the shops are closed, which is obviously a sad thing this weekend, Fred, what's your fondest memory of working in a shop on Grand National Day? And I bet there's many.
Oh.
Fort in Avon.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you, it was the atmosphere. Every Grand National was good. You G'd yourself up for it. You know, you knew it's the Grand National next month, and you'd start working at it and planning and all the rest of it, and you got knocked over. It was difficult to take the bets because they were this high, and then you had to get through them without any calculators. You had to reckon them, and you put them all in order, horse order. It was just fabulous, and the teams that we had was just great to be working with, and I loved it. And you know, some of the Grand Nationals that we had was disastrous for us. Like Red Run was terrible. Ayala was fantastic. Foynaven was fantastic. It was like days off when you got those two results, because it was just scrub, and counting. The biggest thing we were doing was counting the money. But you know, on Red Rum, that was a disaster for bookmakers. It was horrible, but you know, you take it in the round, don't you? But I love Grand National Day. It's the people's race.
And talking about disasters, that's what that will be tomorrow, won't it?
Well,
John Joe O'Neill.
There it is. John Joe O'Neill, pal of mine. It's win only. We've got to keep emphasising that for you. It was 9-2. You can have 11-2, but it's win only. We can't afford to do it in an each way book, but if you want win only, Cloth Cap, 11-2.
I'll just repeat the very, very sad breaking news that Prince Philip has died aged 99. Buckingham Palace has just announced that in the last few minutes. So the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, has died aged 99. So if you want more on that, please go to news channels. We're going to carry on building up to Aintree.
Are you ready for this year's Grand National Festival? Betfred are offering extra places on selected races. So the only thing you'll have to think about is how to pick your horses. Betfred. Download our app or visit betfred.com.
Yeah, you want to get the app. Certainly want to get the app before tomorrow. Oh, if you want your Grand National bet today, of course, you'll get 8 places each way. But on the 145 opener today, we have 5 places each way. Now, I do love the Topham over the Grand National fences, and we have 6 places each way on the Topham. We have 4 places each way on the 440, and we're 5 places each way on the Lucky Last. And as well, if you like to do a Lucky 15 like I do, the beauty here at Betfred, if you get it all correct, well, it's nice to get it all correct, but what's even better at Betfred is you get 10% extra. 10% extra. So let's have a little look. This is what happened yesterday. And look at that. Clan des Ogres, Abracadabras, Me Too Please in the last. It returns 10% extra with Betfred. So look.
It just works out about 500 quid more than anybody else is giving you. £500 more. Why? Because you place it with me and you've got the bonus.
£1 Lucky 15 as well.
But it's nice, isn't it? £500. Why would you want to walk away with £500, Mark? You've got to do it, haven't you?
Yep. So we'll be doing this tomorrow as well for the Grand National, and Fred will be here at 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Our shop shutters may be down, but our spirits will be raised.
There's a furlong now between Red Rum and his 3rd Grand National triumph.
A race that belongs to the city.
His hats off and a tremendous reception. You've never heard one like it at Liverpool.
A race that belongs to the nation.
And party politics is going to win the Grand National.
A race that belongs to the people.
Tiger Roll is remarkable. He comes up towards the winning line under Davy Russell. Castle.
Over 30 fences and 4.25 miles.
Point Albert going well clear to a fantastic Grand National climb.
The ultimate test of horse and jockey.
And they are applauding a very brave horse. Red Verona comes out alone.
History beckons for the brave.
Join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for all the build-up plus Fred's pushes. Yeah, join us 9:30 tomorrow. Look at that. Cloth Cap is 9-2 everywhere, but we are 11-2. Just got to stress it's win only. We are 11-2 if you fancy the fav for the Grand National. Will not go off 11-2 tomorrow. Will not go off 11-2 tomorrow at all. And as well, look, stick your Grand National bets on today because you can get 8 places each way. 8 places each way. But that's only till midnight tonight. That is only till midnight tonight. Matt, obviously we've done this boost on Cloth Cap to 11-2 win only. But how is the market looking for the world's most famous horse race?
Yeah, well, he's 9-2 in that book, but as you mentioned, Mark, over my right shoulder down here, daily price boost with the orange and yellow chevron. That is where you can get Cloth Cap 11-2 win only, but 9-2 he is in the main book. As I say, Trevor Homer's looking for his 4th Grand National winner as an owner, John Joe O'Neill looking for his 2nd, and Tom Scudamore looking for his 1st. Never been in the first 3 in 18 rides. He may be feeling the pressure on a warm favourite. Manila Times at 9-1 for Rachel Blackmore Emery. De Bromhead, former Irish National winner Borough Saint, is at 9-1. And then it's 10-1 Bar bringing in any second now, and Kimberlite Candy, both owned by JP McManus. And Secret Reprieve has got 40 minutes for 2 runners to come out if he is to get a run. But it's 9-2 Cloth Cap, your favourite for the 2021 Randox Health Grand National. But whatever wins, Mark, you know with the Grand National, there is always a story.
There certainly is always a story. And the story 40 years ago was when Peter O'Sullivan announced Aldeniti as the winner of the Grand National. Bob Champion was on board. He was recovering from cancer. Aldeniti nearly was retired as a racehorse. It really is quite an incredible story. And Bob Champion has been talking to Derek Thompson.
I had 2 different types of cancer. Teratoma and seminoma. There was 5 stages and I was at stage 4. So if I hadn't had the treatment, I wouldn't have been here.
And while all this was happening, Aldeniti, a horse you'd ridden, was not very well either.
Well, I was about 3/4 away for the treatment. He came back for a run at Sandown. I was there that day and he broke down so bad. And, the vets wanted to put him down. It broke my heart because he was my main aim. I always wanted to ride him in a Grand National.
So you arrived at Aintree, you got on the horse, the world was watching. Did that put pressure on you?
Oh, good God, yeah, a lot of pressure. Nobody realises the pressure I was under. I'd been to the track in the morning and sat on the old horse and... he felt $1 million. He was so relaxed. He'd never been relaxed in his life before. So he must have realised it was a big occasion as well. His legs were our worry. And so we jumped off down the outer. I followed Bill Smith on Something and John Thorne on Spartan Missile. Going to the first, he stood off far too far, came down too steep, nearly curtains. Oof. He realised this is serious business, the old horse did. It hurts hitting a fence. Went to the first ditch, was a big ditch those days.
It was, number 3.
And the old horse had a brain, put a short stride in. From that moment, he was a joy to ride. Got to the elbow, and I felt this horse come to my quarters. I didn't look, you don't look. And felt this horse there for a few strides. The old horse kept galloping. He didn't quicken, he kept galloping. And I beat the second 2 or 3 lengths. But if it was another 100 yards, I'd have beaten him 10 lengths.
It's great to come and talk to you here. You're not riding anymore, but if you were, Who would you like to be riding in the 2021 Grand National?
Well, most likely one of the Irish, because they're going to have more than half the field. But Cloth Cap for me. I loved everything he's done this season. Jumps for fun, ridden by Tom Skew. And wouldn't that be history? Yes. Grandfather won the National. Yeah. Father was involved with the National winner with his partner. Yeah. And the 3 generations if Tom won it. And there's always a story. But, you know, he has been impressive all his races this time. Trained for the day. John Joe's horse is in great form. Has trained a National winner before. So he knows what's needed.
Right, sounds like Bob Champion fancies the 11-2 for Cloth Cap. Don't forget, we're 8 places each way. And as well, if you have your bet today, you go in a draw to win a car and you can win a share of £25,000 in cash. Fred, we said there's often a story behind the Grand National. There usually is. I mean, party politics won that year, didn't it? But one of the most poignant is definitely Bob Champion and Aldenite.
Well, they made a film of that called Champions. And, you know, if it wasn't true, you wouldn't have believed the script. You think it's impossible that. It was a broken down horse with a broken down man who had cancer. By the way, it was one stinking result. Why? Because the public got behind it. Because of the story. That's all they got behind it. It couldn't win, that horse, and he couldn't win it. They were both finished. And look what happened there. And good luck to it, and it's lovely to see him.
And he's made millions since, you know, for cancer charities.
And, you know, I love to see him there, because he looked pretty healthy there, didn't he? Yeah. You know, I mean, cancer 40 years ago, you were a goner. You got chances now with it, but 40 years ago, he rode the Grand National winner after having cancer, and he rode it with a horse that was broken down. They both got back. It was just impossible to believe that story. Good luck to both of them. It was a stinker, but forget all that. I was so pleased to see him there and talking about it. And like he said, everything's got a story, and Cloth Cap's got a story. Trevor Hemmings, the money he's put into to horse racing has been fabulous. John Joe O'Neill, he's been a fabulous man as well. You know, champion jockey, champion trainer. It's another story in the making.
Well, yeah, could Paul Nicholls be the story with Sir Alex Ferguson and give me a copper? But he's got a great chance today, has Paul Nicholls, with Politilogue in the Mellin Chase, which is now the Marsh Chase. Why have they changed the name? It's the Mellin Chase. So Mellin Chase, Politilogue. We are a top price 7-2. We've also done these for you as well this lunchtime. We've got Coppolas at 6-1, Brave Man's Game, another Paul Nicholls horse at 11-4, and Dusart. I don't know what's going to beat Dusart in the second race today. Nicky Henderson has got such a good record on the Friday of the Grand National meeting, but you've got a very important job, Matt.
I certainly have, and this is going to prove how good these price boosts are, because Politilogue is at 7-2, as you mentioned, 11-4 generally. Paddy Power, special offer, 3-1 there, but 7-2. Politilogue for Paul Nicholls, fresh from his double at Aintree yesterday for this former champion chase and former winner of this race. So 7-2 Politilogue. We've also boosted Dusart, as you mentioned. General 2-1 across the board, half brother to the great Simon Sig. And Fridays at Aintree on Nicky Henderson special days. So 5-2 Dusart in the top novices chase, the grade 1. Brave Man's Game again taking on Paul Nicholls. He's taking on Nicky Henderson. He's taking on Paul Nicholls. He took on the Irish at Cheltenham. Fred taking on the fantasy runners. 11-4 Brave Man's Game. Best price at Hills is at 2-1. General 15-8. And then this is my bet of the day, Coppolas, 6-1. General 9-2 across the board. Take that. Huge chance. Won last time out. The second one yesterday to frank the form. And he's got a big chance in the Lucky Last today. And don't forget as well, Cloth Cap boosted from 9-2 to 11-2. You can hear the cries from punters tomorrow. Tom Skew. Thanks to Fred, we got 11-2.
So, Cloth Cap, we are a top price of 11-2 for Cloth Cap. So everyone else 9-2, 11-2 for Cloth Cap. That is a top price. Just very quickly, some breaking news. I've mentioned it a couple of times today. Some sad news as well with Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. He was 99, has died. If you would like more news about that, please tune into the news channels. He was an honorary member of the Jockey Club since 1947, and of course he accompanied the Queen so often to Royal Ascot.
Yeah. Many, many times. I mean, I've never met the guy. I was very close to him in the ring at Royal Ascot on a few occasions, and he's had a very good life, obviously. And it was, when you mentioned it before, Mark, it was a major shock to me. And I don't know why it should be a major shock for a 99-year-old, but you took me by surprise with that one, and I'm very sorry to hear that news.
Yeah, Buckingham Palace have announced that in the last few minutes. 6 places each way on the Topham. So 6 places each way on the Topham. And this is an obvious thing to say, Matt. Basically, I think you need them.
You need them. As I said earlier, you could probably have 20 in this and still not get one in the first 6. It is that competitive. You won't be surprised whatever wins or finishes in the frame here. But Nicky Anderson's such a good record with it. Won it 3 years on the spin. In the last decade, he's got Caribbean Boy here at 7-1 in the Simon and Isaac Suede Sucks. Willie Mullins won it 2 years ago with Cadmium. Irish got generally a poor record though, but he's got Live, Love, Laugh. He's at 7-1. Senior Citizen is at 11-1. 12-1 Precious Cargo. Modus was 3rd over Track and Trip in December. He's at 12-1. And then Nicky Anderson also got Morning Vicar, also at 12-1. At a bigger price though, we've got Ravenhill Road, who won at Doncaster last time out. And his jockey then, Ryan Manny, who's been joining us this week, got off him and said to Connections, we should go for the Topham Chase. Let's hear from him now.
When we won last time out at Doncaster, first thing I said when I came in is the Topham. Let's go for the Topham. So this is completely my idea. If it goes wrong, it's my fault. I think if he jumps the fences, he takes the fences, he's got a huge shout. He's a horse with a lot of ability. Had his little issues over the years, but he was first run after a wind up at Doncaster the last day. So hopefully he's improving. And yeah, as I say, he's schooled well at home, and hopefully he takes to the fences. But you know, it's one of these races that, again, I said to you yesterday about taking a dart and throwing it at the dartboard. It's hard. You can make a case for quite a lot of them, and you know, some that maybe aren't in the best of form. But these fences have a way of changing horses and lighting them up, and that really quite good fun for a lot of these horses. But one at a bigger price, just to mix things up, I thought was Storm Control for Kerry Lee. A horse that I've always watched for some reason. It's always taken my eye, and always thought I wanted to ride him. You know, he's a real positive ride, jumps well, travels well, and you know, he ran really well at Cheltenham last day, I thought. So he could be one at quite a big price that could, if he takes well to the fences, he could be there at the end.
This is a favourite though, Matt, isn't it?
Yeah, this is Live, Love, Laugh.
Second-itis for his horse.
Yeah, he's been placed 3rd and then 2nd in 2 big handicaps at Leopardstown at the Dublin Races Festival, and this one at the beginning of March. I mean, it looks like he's going to win here, doesn't he? But he gets nabbed in the shadows of the post, and that's kind of a theme of his. He's only ever won once in 18 starts over fences, and that tempers enthusiasm, really, when you look at the top of it. It's so competitive. Look, with 6 places, it's going to be hard to keep out of the frame for Willie Mullins, but for win purposes, I think there's much more hardier types in there.
There we are. So we are 6 places each way on the Topham, which is over the Grand National fences at 4:05 today. And at 8 o'clock tonight, we've got some Premier League action. Fulham, the pressure's on. Fulham to win and both teams to score. We've gone 6-1. Quickly give us some goal score offers, Matt, really quickly.
Well, Mitrovic scored in his previous game for Fulham. It was a defeat to Villa, but we boosted him 3-1 for the Serbian to strike tonight, and also for Wolves, Pedro Neto to get on the score sheet. He's been boosted from 130 out to 4-1, Mark.
And we've also got Watford to win and both teams to score. They are going for promotion 4-1. Huge game for United on Sunday, away at Spurs.
Yeah,
remember what happened at Old Trafford?
Yeah, it is a good game. I don't think there's very much in it, do you?
No, not at all.
You know, I'm not a Tottenham fan, and United are playing well, but they can lose quite as easily on the day. It depends who they're playing, and depends what team comes out. I saw it last night. They looked very comfortable against Granada last night, but you know, it is Granada. You've got to put it in perspective.
Yeah, they're only a TV company, aren't they?
It'll be different.
London weekend next.
Yeah, and Mourinho will want to do as well, won't he?
Certainly will do. And let's be honest, it was not a good result at Old Trafford, was it? That was a horror show. No. Matt, have we got any questions for Fred?
We have, yeah. We'll go back to the Grand National as well, because there's lots coming in. And one says, Fred, you kind of touched on this earlier, but if you could own any previous Grand National winner, Mark, I'll say it before again, yeah, who would it have been?
I think it would be Tiger Roll. I think it would be Tiger Roll, yeah.
I wouldn't have had that.
And I wish Tiger Roll had been running in today's race.
Well, let me ask you the question then. If you own Tiger Roll, would you be going for the hat-trick tomorrow?
Of course I would, absolutely. And I don't understand why they didn't. But, you know, it's Tiger Roll would be my choice, I'd guess, yeah.
Do you think the O'Learys in a few years' time might wake up and think, why didn't we go for it?
I just don't understand why they didn't do it, unless they're thinking of the horse.
But it ran yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I would have put it in. Yeah, I would have put it in. Let it take its chances.
Any more, Matt?
Yeah, well, we might just need a few minutes to think about this one, but David Hyde said, we know there's always a story. What will be Sunday's paper's headline about the Grand National? So I think you need a few minutes to think about that.
Dave's asking what's going to win the Grand National.
Much, yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what it'll be. It was the working man that won it, the cloth cap. The cloth cap brigade won the race. That's where I'm predicting.
And you'd love that, because, all right, John Joe would cost you a fortune, but you're good mates with John Joe. You'd love him to see it win
I
again,
would.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when Don't Push It won the race, it was a stinker for me. But, you know, he was a good friend of mine and good luck to him. But, you know, none of it's personal. You don't like paying out to punters, but you just get on with it. That's your game. That's what you're here for. But
there we are.
Cloth cap will win.
Cloth cap 11-2. Let's join a man who's never worn a cloth cap in his life. It's Rupert Bell on the 250, which is a Mildmay Novice Chase.
Well, the 250, the Mildmay Novices Chase, well, it's a field of 7, but it's very competitive. There's no two ways about it. Chantry House is obviously the standout, will be a short price favourite, and Nicky Henderson's record on a Friday of Aintree is exceptional. And will Chantry House be able to back up that run? Of course, he beat Fusel Raffles, who was pulled up yesterday, having broken a blood vessel in a race yesterday. Just wonder whether that form is as strong as it could be, although it was a rare British highlight. So I'm looking elsewhere. You've got to look at Fiddler on the Roof and the Big Breakaway, two very good horses, but I like the look of Kim Bailey and David Bass with Espoir de Romay. They think the world of this horse. It is on the pace a bit of a step up, but they believe this is a progressive horse. So for me, in the 250, it's Espoir de Romay.
Thanks so much to Rupert. Right, this is Chantry House winning at Cheltenham. All right, Envoy Allen fell. This is still a cracking performance, Matt.
It is, yeah, and it's that old age question we ask. How much is it taken out of him, this performance? You mentioned Envoy Allen fell early on in this. Fusel Raffles, we saw yesterday, made a bad mistake and was pulled up immediately after that, so we don't actually know how he would have performed. Back in 5th there, Chambly takes him on again, and I think he's interesting. He's already won over 3 miles. Chantry House stepping up to this for the first time. He was 3rd in the Supreme over 2 miles, but he wasn't stopping at the end of that 2 mile 4, was he? Up that stiff Cheltenham Hill. So, yeah, big chance for Chantry House this afternoon. His 6-4 favourite has been nibbled. Look, all the Nick Henderson horses are being backed, and rightly so. I'll get Mark to remind you of this stat that he gave you this morning. Colin Tizard's got the Big Breakaway and Fiddler on the Roof. They were 2nd and 3rd over this trip at Cheltenham in the RSA. 2 that haven't been to Cheltenham are Espoir de Romney as well, and also Empire Steel as well, who is the mount of Ryan Mania. And this one beat Protectorat, yesterday's winner, by 41 lengths at Kelso last time out. OK, Protectorat didn't give his running, but the form was boosted yesterday.
Yeah, see that nice little form boost. I mean, Protectorat has dropped back, and Trip maybe just didn't stay and didn't like the ground when we beat him up at Kelso. And you know, so Empire Steel, lovely horse. My only concern is the ground. We don't know is the simple answer if the ground will be a key factor. We just know that he handles heavy. So if we'd had a deluge of rain, I'd have really fancied him. But as it stands, we'll just have to really just hope for the best, and you know, we'll find out if he appreciates the sounder surface.
Yep, slight concern about the ground for Empire Steel, but his form, as I say, is absolutely rock solid. with Protect Track winning yesterday. But this is a fit on the roof for the big breakaway.
Look,
Chasing and Monkfish in the RSA.
They faced a good one here, didn't they, Bess?
They did face a very good one. They got into, I don't think he's out by the loose horse there, but yeah, look, they've bumped in to next year's Gold Cup favourite, haven't they? So there's no disgrace in being beaten by him here. But I'm not sure that age will suit the big breakaway. Might suit Fiddler on the Roof more, but how much did this take out of them? I'm with Sham Blue, Mark. Can you just confirm that stat though about Nicky Henderson's horses on the Friday at Aintree?
Yeah, on the Friday of Aintree, Fred, since 2011, so that's 9 years. Of 63 races, Nicky Henderson's won 18. He always seems... Now, you were with me on the Friday once when we had the pitch at Aintree and he had a cracking day. We ran out of dough.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen very often, does
it? I wish you'd have told me them stats before I start pushing horses.
Hey, when have you ever listened to stats when pushing horses?
Mark, I don't even listen to myself.
Exactly. So come and see us, 9:30 tomorrow morning. Politolog 7-2. So we're doing Politolog 7-2 top price. But yeah, you need to come and join us at 9:30 tomorrow morning when we'll do more pushes like this, Fred, because this is what we're all about, isn't it? Pushes. This is what we like to do to give you the extra value. Coppolas in a last 6-1. Brave Man's Game 11-4. Nicky Henderson. I think that is a cracking bet today at Dusart because I can't see anything else to beat it. So Fred's here 9:30 tomorrow morning. But Matt, prove her a top price.
I will do, right. Start with Politolog then. As I mentioned, won this race 3 years ago, a champion chaser of 2020, high-profile horse trained by the red-hot Paul Nicholls. Fred, didn't listen to any of it, boosted him to 7-2, 11-4 General, 3-1 Palace, 7-2 Politolog, one of the talking horses of the day in the Melling Chase. So Dusart, Nicky Henderson, 18 winners of the last 63 Friday races at the Aintree Grand National Festival. This is one of the talking horses, 5-2 across the board, 2-2 on a full half a point bigger about Dusart, the shortest priced favourite on the card today. Closely followed by this fella, Brave Man's Game. As I mentioned, the last 3 winners of this race all ran at the festival. 2 of them were beaten. He meets the stats, 11-4. Fred is boosted. Look at this, just 15-8, less than 2-1. Almost 3-1 with Fred Brave Man's Game. If you fancy him, there's only one place to back him right here, right now, on the Daily Price Boost icon on the website on the left-hand side. Click on Daily Price Boost. That's where they are, including this one, my bet of the day, Coppolas, 6-1 in the lucky last. General 9-2, won nicely at Taunton last time out. The second one there yesterday. I think he takes the world of the beat under the excellent Lewis Stones in the lucky last. 6-1 from 9-2, and of course 11-2 about Cloth Cap in the Grand National, win only tomorrow afternoon.
11-2 for Cloth Cap, win only. But let's have a look at this. Look at this. Politolog 7-2. Matt's proved it's a top price. So what does Rupert Bell think about the Melling Chase?
Now, the most valuable race of the day is the Marsh Chase. What a good race this promises to be. Now, with the Politologue and Fakir Dadudaris vying for favouritism, well, Fakir Dadudaris, Joseph O'Brien's runner, clearly seems to feel like a bit of an unlucky horse. I don't feel totally confident in his ability to win this afternoon. Others to look out for. Politologue ran a great race last time out, and clearly Paul Nicholls' horses are in really good heart. Had a bit of a word for Dashel Drasher coming up from Devon. Will be probably off people's most radars, but this horse certainly gave Matt Griffiths a memorable day at Ascot back in February. But for me, I think it could be another Irish success over here in Britain, as I believe Notebook, going up in trip, will find it much more to his liking. Rachel Blackmore obviously with a winner late on Thursday afternoon. So for me, it's all about Notebook.
Notebook, interesting. Didn't run very well at Cheltenham, I don't think. So interesting from Rupert there. But Politologue is the boost at 7-2. Fred, you're going to go and disappear and go and do your warm-up and stretches ready for tomorrow morning. But before you go, just tell us about this bet that you invented in Lockdown 1, which seems like a very, very long time ago.
It does, but you know, we were scratching around for something to have a bet on, so I invented this one. This is exclusive to Betfred. Pick 3, match 3. There's 50 numbers. Pick 3, match 3. 800 to 1 I'll give you. 800 to 1. Pick 4, match 4. 10,000 to 1. Pick 5, match 5. 200,000 to 1. We draw it 3 times a day, 11:30, 2:30 and 6:30. have some value, have a bit of fun. It's there for you. It's simple. Have a go at my nifty 50.
Right. I want you to go home, put your slippers on, watch for racing, maybe even have a look at the form.
Do we need to study the form? Don't you think I know the form?
Well, you've gone cloth cap 11 to 2. Just quickly before you go. Obviously, no betting shops open tomorrow, which is a disappointment, but at least they're open on Monday in England and Wales. Will you still wake up just as excited tomorrow morning?
Absolutely. I'll be up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is a promise. At 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'll be looking at the papers, weighing it all up tomorrow, and I'll come along here at 9:30 with you, and we'll give some great
pushes
great
at entry.
value.
Pushes at entry.
And we're going to give some fabulous value again.
Right. Fred is clearing off, but we're about an hour away from the first. Let's get the latest from Rupert Bell.
Well, the 145 is a fiendishly difficult-looking handicap hurdle. Wild About Oscar, of course, Dan Skelton, Harry Skelton, the top weight in this particular race, is trying to be on the run for a third straight win. But carrying top weight, well, might just be a question mark. I know that Daryl Jacobs thought Monte Cristo was extremely unlucky when getting into problems at Cheltenham Festival, thought he could be very close, and really does think the horse is well in at the weight, so don't discount Monte Cristo. But the one for me in this opening race is the one at the bottom of the weights. Now, it is stepping up in class, but it was a very good win last time out, and that is Amarillo Sky, trained by Colin Tizard, Robbie Power on board. That, I think, is an interesting booking. I know he's ridden for him in the past, but Amarillo Sky does look to be ahead of the handicappers, so I think the bottom weight is going to run a very big race in the opener.
Interesting there from Rupert. I've had a few people mention Amarillo Sky. Obviously, the Tizard's form would be a worry, but we are 5 places each way, Matt.
We certainly are, yeah. And you mentioned the Tizards. I mean, it could all be turned around with a few winners at Aintree. They've got Mr. Malarkey not without a chance in the Grand National tomorrow. So, you know, the whole season could turn around in a couple of days. So Amarillo Sky, I can see where they're coming with. But look, we're 5 places, so I'm going to stick with it at a price. Cateson. Won here back in early on in the season over course and distance. Good third at Ascot next time. Pulled hard last time out. He's around about 33 to 1. 5 places. That'll do for me each way with proven course and distance form. And it's ridden by Tom Scudamore. 11 to 2 cloth cap win only for tomorrow.
And they've come for Mr. Coffee here at 11 to 2
Henderson
as
factor.
well. What does your mate think about the first then, Matt?
Which mate? Which one are we at? Which mate? I've got 2. Which one?
Jamie
Codd, yeah. Well, we're going to talk to him because they've got Tronador, Denise Foster and Jack Kennedy down there at 12 to 1. Like Amarillo Sky just sneaks in at the bottom of the handicap. So let's hear what he thought about the Irish Raider in the opener.
Yeah, Tronador, you know, an interesting little horse. Kind of has been running well. He's been running quite well, but I suppose ultimately he has to step up. He is coming in off a nice weight, and you know, Jack Kennedy will be very confident now after having that grade 1 today. So look, he's a horse. We're hoping that he will kind of you know, operate a little bit better. He ran well last year. He ran well last year in Cheltenham, but he does need to come back to a little bit of form but look at it, he's fresh and well. You know, as I say, he ran well behind Aramax last year. But he does have to step up and return to a bit of form. But yeah, he's been going quite well at home.
Well, he sneaks in towards the foot of the weights, but at the top of the weights, he's Wild About Oscar for the Skeltons, who started with a bang on Thursday.
Yeah, the Skeltons had a brilliant win on Thursday. A grade 1 for Harry. I was speaking to him after. He's just delighted with that, and you know, for those owners as well, it's really important that the likes of Alex Ferguson and that get these results to keep them coming back in the game. So it was a fantastic result for everyone involved. And yeah, look at they're going to be on the back of, you know, Harry's in a titanic duel with Brian Hughes for the jockey's title. So he's really going to be pushing hard and Dan to try and get Harry over the line and that. So they're going to be throwing everything at it, you know.
Yeah, they certainly are. So what are we thinking the first? Is it Tronador a big play, or was there something else that took your eye?
Yeah, look at, I think Amarillo Sky of Colin Tizards. He's been sneaking along there. He won a point for Colin Bowe. I think he's a Westerner horse. He's going to improve for the ground. And I think with Tizzer's horses coming into a bit of form, and I'd be confident at 9-1 this horse could run really well.
So we have 5 places on the opener today. 5 places each way on the opener. Right, let's move to the second race on the card today. And obviously, this is this novice hurdle. I suppose it all centres around this Duzart, doesn't it? Because we've not seen him since November.
And that's the worry, isn't it? That is the worry. I mean, he's half-brother to Simon Sigg, the great Simon Sigg, who was also with Nicky Henderson, but we only saw him once. But boy, was it impressive. Let's have a look at it then. We'll show you how impressive it was. And this is why he's 2-1 favourite. Look, without doubt, others have got better or certainly graded form and good handicap form, but the horse he beats here in second is Soaring Glory. He went back to this track and trip and won the Betfair hurdle in February, so it is real good form. He had a penalty for this, so Dusart was in receipt of weight, but he sees it out really well and he quickens up really well. Now, Newbury isn't a million miles dissimilar to Aintree, same way round, long straight as well, and he quickens up really nicely. The worry is, but we haven't seen him for 4 months, but he's got ticks in every other box, including being trained by Nicky Henderson.
There we are, top price for Duzart, but Nicky Henderson has never won the Grand National.
Get ahead of the field with Betfred for this year's Grand National. Place your bets early on Thursday or Friday, and Betfred will pay out on 8 places. So all you'll need is a top 8 finish to get paid out on your each way stake. The only thing you'll have to think about is how to pick your horses. Whether you look for the silks, numbers, or names, get your head in front this Thursday or Friday by placing your Grand National bets early with Betfred. Download the app or visit betfred.com.
Yeah, you get your Grand National bets on early because we're 8 places each way. Only today, 8 places each way, and we've got a couple more incentives for you. One of you who places at least £1 or £1 each way will go in a draw to win that brand new SUV, and there's a share of 25 grand in cash. There is a share of 25 grand in cash. Now you can't have this each way, but it's top price and it's win only. Top price, win only, 11-2 for Cloth Cap. It will cost Fred a fortune. John Joe O'Neill has won the race before with Don't Push It in 2010. And we sent Rupert Bell to speak to John Joe at the fantastic Jackdaw's Castle.
Well, first up, John Joe, this must be so exciting to have a horse going in with such a weight of expectation in Cloth Cap going for this year's Grand National.
Yeah, it's very exciting, really. He's very well in at the weights, so you can understand why everybody is pushing him forward. He jumps and he stays. He seems the right sort of type of horse for the race, really. And he'll never get in better again, will he?
It's been a revelation though this season. I mean, he was all right before, but what's been the transformation into turning into such an exciting horse?
Well, the plan started early last year, and of course it was all disappointments, so nothing went right for him really. And this year he just come back in and he's in great form, and he's settled in to work really well. And he went to Cheltenham and he had a lovely run, finished third, and then we went for the Ladbrokes, and that went really well, and it just all happened really.
And describe him as a horse. Is he complicated to train? Is he quirky? Is he very much his own man?
He is very much his own man. He's not difficult to train or anything like that, but he's fussy and he's a bit of attitude about him, he likes to be on his own a bit. He likes to do things on his own in his own circumstances, really. But he's pretty adaptable, and he goes with most things. He is a little bit like Don't Push It, really. He used to be always trained on his own and just join in on the work, and this fella's a bit similar, really.
For you, to win another national. It was huge when Don't Push It. You say a really classy horse. There's a lot going on, but this might feel like after we missed it last year, but to come back and you be the winning trainer, you know, you've achieved a lot. Would this feel very special?
Oh, of course it would, yeah. Listen, everybody loves Cheltenham and Aintree is the be-all and end-all for jump people, and you know, to win another national would be fantastic, really. But to have a runner in it and have a live chance, I mean, it's fantastic, really. And we just have to wait and see on the day what happens. But we're very happy going with him, and let's hope we can get him there safe and sound, and that's my job done.
He was never kind to in the race as a jockey, but he's won it in 2010, and he's got a real chance, hasn't he?
Massive chance, absolutely massive. If this was any other normal race, he'd be 2-1. It's only the fences that make him a 9-2 shot, and look him running with 39 other runners all barging into each other. So, look, he looks absolutely thrown in. He jumps, he stays, he loves decent ground, he'll be prominent, which is what you kind of need on decent ground entry. He ticks every single box, owned by Trevor Hemmings, who's won it 3 times, trained by John Joe O'Neill, who's won it. And the only negative, and it's not really negative, but it's Tom Scudamore's record in the race. There might be a little bit of pressure on him riding such a warm favourite. I mean, I can't remember any horse being this short 24 hours before the race.
Yeah. Some breaking news in the last few minutes, and sad news that Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, has died aged 99, and Ascot have released a statement. We extend our deepest condolences to Her Majesty the Queen and the royal family at this time. We have very happy memories of His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh at Ascot, where he accompanied Majesty the Queen on so many occasions and shared in her successes. So some very, very sad news. Just a reminder, today we are 8 places on the Grand National, and we've got some extra places for you today.
Are you ready for this year's Grand National Festival? Betfred are offering extra places on selected races. So the only thing you'll have to think about is how to pick your horses. Betfred. Download our app or visit betfred.com.
Yeah, we're 5 places today on the opener, the Betemps Network Hurdle. We're 6 places each way on the Topham. You need 'em, not favourite in the last 10 years. We're 4 places each way on the 440, and we're 5 places each way on the Lucky Last. And that's what we're going to finish by taking a look at. The Lucky Last, the 515. Well, come on, you're very, very sweet on Couples.
I am, but look, I backed him last time out. I put him up on Betfred as well, and he won really nicely, I thought, and I thought he was a horse going places, very lightly raced. The second one yesterday, he's been put up £6 and the jockey takes off 7. Look, it's a conditional and an amateur jockey's at race, but he's ridden 10 winners over hurdles already, Lewis Stones. He's very, very capable indeed. I think he's definitely going to be bang there, and Fred has gone 6-1 as well. If you look at that daily price boost, Fred's gone 6-1. But the interesting one, Donald McCain, of course, name famous at Aintree, trainer of Red Rum. Ginger McCain, his son Donald's got the 3 in here. One of them's ridden by Derek O'Connor, the top Irish amateur, who is in his late 30s, and we've got one at the very other end of his career, Jordan Gainford. He's on Blakeney Point. Let's hear from Jamie Codlin, who hasn't got a ride in this race, but we touched on both of those contenders when I caught up with him yesterday.
Yeah, this is a tricky little race, always is. You know, you're kind of looking for something there. I really like Copperless of Ollie's. I know it's a little bit short in the market of Ollie Murphy's. You know, ran really well when he won the last day. And I think he'll be ridden for a bit of luck, you know, and he usually drops in, and I think that might suit in a race like this. You know, so I kind of really like him, and I'd love to see Ollie having a winner in Aintree. He's been targeting a few horses for the place, and I think this one could nearly win.
I thought this time next year might run quite well, but we've not seen him for a while.
We'll be millionaires, Rodney. Do you know, a bigger price, I quite like Roland Ward as well. I'm a big fan of Copperless. That's the best bet, but with the places on offer, Roland Ward as well. These are his conditions.
But just recap your selection. It's your nap of the day as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Copperless for me in the Lucky Last. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it's worth the wait. But yeah, big chance to lightly race Copperless. For Ollie Murphy, who's targeted his good runners at Aintree this year.
Final reminder for you. 8 places each way on the Grand National, but that is only for today. We are 8 places each way on the Grand National, but that offer will finish at midnight tonight. But you need to come and see us at 9:30 tomorrow morning when we build up to the world's most famous steeplechase in the world.
Our shop shutters may be down, but our spirits will be raised.
There's a furlong now between Red Rum and his third Grand National triumph.
A race that belongs to the city.
His hats off and a tremendous reception. You've never heard one like it at Liverpool.
A race that belongs to the nation.
And party politics is going to win the Grand National.
A race that belongs to the people.
Tiger Roll is remarkable. He comes up towards the winning line under Davy Russell.
Over 30 fences and 4 1/4 miles.
Boyne Alban going well clear to a fantastic Grand National triumph.
The ultimate test of horse and jockey.
And they are applauding a very brave horse. Red Verona comes out alone.
History beckons for the brave.
Join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for all the build-up plus Fred's pushes. It just